Alaikum. Apparently, the city of Homs in Syria has actually collapsed. If you actually check on the map right here, this is Syria right here in the Middle East, and then you see Homs, which is just above, which is but just below Hama, and Hama was taken yesterday. So you see Aleppo was taken, Hama is now taken, and now Homs has already fallen, and now it's just Damascus. Now they're on the road to Damascus. So Bashar Assad is not too happy about the situation. It's very, very ugly for him. You see these rebels actually, they're on the road to home saying, "You forced us out of buses, but we have returned to you with tanks." That's what these brothers are saying. A lot of people who were refugees who fled a decade ago are now returning and seizing their homes again. Assad regime troops have already abandoned homes, likely to withdraw further south to reinforce Assad himself in Damascus. And apparently, Bashar Assad is not going to be defended by Putin. Putin has no intention, according to Bloomberg, that Russia has no plan to save Assad, and we do not expect any plan as long as the army leaves its positions. So the issue again is that Russia doesn't actually have the capacity to defend Assad because they've been drained by the Ukraine war. They've lost hundreds of thousands of men, and the Iranians have been weakened by Israel because Israel destroyed Hezbollah. They also destroyed a lot of the Iranian proxy militias, and they've weakened Iran's military capacity. So Iran's credibility is in the gutter. Iran cannot actually defend their proxies in the region, and the Shias have been completely neutered. And it's something that's very interesting to see. I predicted this actually months ago when I was talking to some of my friends. I actually told them, hey, what Israel's actually doing is what they're weakening a lot of these Shia militias, and it will create a power vacuum in the area. And once you have a power vacuum in the area, then all bets are off. The Sunnis who have been essentially hibernating for the last few years, I know it's not really a poor choice of, it's a real poor choice of words, but the fighting has dramatically died down in the last about few years, several years, but now it's picking up again. The Sunnis have regathered their strength, they've regathered their momentum, and now they're very happy. A lot of them are making sujood. You see that? Allahu Akbar. Entire caravans of displaced Syrians are heading towards. Wow, this is absolutely amazing. You see them praying, the HDS rebels. Now you see that Jolani is not really a good guy. I wouldn't say he's the best representative, but a lot of the rank and file members of HDS are genuine Sunni Mujahideen who are trying to protect their homes, trying to protect their families from being destroyed by Assad. And it's very heartwarming seeing all of this. It's look at this video from a few years ago. Look at the Assad regime soldiers torturing a Syrian child, forcing him to say there is no God but Bashar al-Assad. This is what the Assad family did to their people over decades. Look at that.
طب اعطيك درس تاريخ يا حيوان. يلا خليك معي. مين اللي خلقك؟ بشار الأسد. مين رباك؟ بشار الأسد. مين تبعك؟ بشار الأسد.
I don't want to watch this anymore. It's very disturbing, right? So somebody wrote this. What was the reason why the Mujahideen rapidly advanced? How did they advance so quickly? Well, they made excellent use of the past 5 years, which essentially became a period of a ceasefire. During this time, they carefully analyzed reasons for their previous losses and mistakes in past battles and focused on addressing their weaknesses. They built a stronger military structure, incorporating night vision-equipped special forces, artillery, and missile units, infiltrating special operations teams in the Falcon Brigades, which played a decisive role, particularly in the battles of Aleppo and Hama. Additionally, the Mujahideen adapted to modern warfare by utilizing advanced technology. They had developed their own cruise missiles, armed drones capable of dropping bombs, and kamikaze drones capable of conducting suicide attacks. In contrast, the Assad regime had been preoccupied for years with plundering Syrian lands, engaging in internal power struggles, and grappling with economic crises. Meanwhile, its main supporters, Russia and Iran, offered only half-hearted assistance, rendering them ineffective against the Mujahideen's preparations. A scenario depicted the collapse of the Assad regime. To make the situation clearer, imagine this brief scenario. You are a soldier of the Assad regime. For years you've been living under economic hardship, unable to provide for your family with the salary you receive. While you're on your weekly patrol, the Mujahideen conduct infiltration operations, systematically taking out your comrades. Your commanders either don't know how to respond or simply don't care. Suddenly, one night, the Mujahideen launch a large-scale operation, Bullets fly over your head, and your comrades beside you fall one by one. You try to contact your commander via radio to report the situation and request reinforcements, only to find out that Mujahideen have destroyed command centers with cruise missiles, incapacitating your commanders. The remaining generals have already fled. As if that's not enough, you realize the fire is coming not just from the front, the direction of the enemy, but also from behind. The Mujahideen special forces have infiltrated your rear lines. While you try to take cover in your trench, precision artillery shells hit nearby posts. Pickup trucks carrying fleeing comrades are struck by kamikaze drones, killing everyone aboard. At this point, you understand there is nothing left to defend and no means to continue fighting. Left with no other choice, you surrender to the Mujahideen's call to lay down your arms. Conclusion: the primary reason for the rapid collapse of the Assad regime's lines is that the Mujahideen trusted in Allah only and adhered to Allah's command. Prepare against whatever forces you can muster. That's Quran, Surah 80, verse 61. Verse 60, actually. They relied solely on him and launched this large-scale operation. Meanwhile, the regime, weakened by internal divisions in military and political disarray, stood no chance against this meticulously prepared offensive. This is actually a very amazing post. Good job. May Allah reward you. So you see what the Israeli intelligence officials are basically saying is that they're not actually happy about what's happening, because they may not like Assad, but at the end of the day, Assad is a predictable dictator. He is a secular dictator. He is easy to control, and he's a familiar face. So why would they want these Sunni rebels, these Sunni Mujahideen, to take land and then wage war upon Israel? There's no reason why Israel or America would want that, and there's all indications point to Trump and the Israelis actually making a deal with Assad. That's what it looks like to me. Look what this Israeli intelligence is basically saying. He's saying what the Syrian rebels have done constitutes the collapse of Sykes-Picot. We need Bashar to guard our borders and establish a buffer zone so that they're not close to our borders. Incredible. You know what? This brother wrote this. The leadership of HTS just released a statement about their strictly nationalist agenda. So yes, the leaders of HTS are actually nationalists. They actually do respect borders. They do adhere to these man-made borders, whereas a lot of the rank-and-file soldiers who are actually doing the fighting don't care about that. They only care about Islam. So there is a disconnect. Assad clearly hasn't been controlling much outside Damascus since 2011, and with Russia and Iran controlling the rest of the country since then, how can anyone describe Sykes-Picot as still in any play besides from lines on a map? What Israel needs is Assad, Sisi, MBS, MBZ, and all the other leaders of the Arab regimes to act as guard dogs for their borders and attack dogs against Sunni fighting groups. With Assad losing his bite, what Israel wants is another guard dog to take his place. Israel has its own plans to tear down Sykes-Picot with a twisted version of a future Judean Samaria that encompasses Palestine, parts of Syria, Iraq, Jordan, and Lebanon. Meanwhile, mentioning the collapse of Sykes-Picot are probably just a colonial dog whistle. Yeah, and no, I do agree with him, actually. This brother right here, Abu Najib Fernando, what he's saying here is that a lot of people have misplaced hopes. I hope things are going to change, but at the end of the day, things can go in another direction. I bookmarked this as well from C.J. Werleman. A lot of those pro-Palestine leftists are smearing 13 million Syrians with the same Islamophobic tropes used by Zionists against Palestinians. They call them head choppers, terrorists, jihadists. So the same words that the Israelis were using against the people of Syria, now these same Bashar Assad supporters are doing the same thing. Look what this brother wrote. Happy for Syria. And this person actually became more famous because he was documenting the Gaza genocide. He lives in Gaza. He got a lot of support from these people, but look how they're treating him now. A lot of the replies are basically saying, you're a piece of you're a bad guy, you're a terrorist, or calling him all sorts of mean names. So it's good that he's standing strong. There will be a divide between Sunnis and Shias. It's becoming more and more apparent. And this is a good thing, because Muslims need to understand that Iran and Syria and Hezbollah are actually your enemies. They're not good for you, and you should not be rooting for them. You should not be rooting for them no matter what. All right, that's all I have to say on the topic. Thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.